Hey, welcome to everyone out there. Today we are on, let's see, where did I decide to go with this? We are on YouTube and we're on Twitch. Those are the two places I decided to. I didn't want to hear any whinging about spoilers, so I stayed off of Facebook. And I have a lot of friends on there that are gonna have issues with spoiling. So anyway, here it is. Here's your spoiler alert, your one and only. We're going to talk about episode 5 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. One of the things that just really has been difficult is doing the show on Tuesday nights and basically talking about old news. And so this is our opportunity to be on top of fresh news here about the episode that just dropped. And I know collectively we also did not talk about the last episode, which is episode 4. And this is our opportunity to talk in depth about all of those things. So if you have not seen the episode or you're going to be deeply disturbed by hearing this content, we're going to get right into it.
Yeah.
So get out of here, go see the episode, and then come see it either on Twitch or on YouTube after the fact. Please, please join us then. And as always, one other thing I really wanted to do is, like, I see a lot of broadcasts that happen during the day, during the afternoon. Seems like there is a large audience for that sort of content. And so this is our opportunity to get some content out during the day when there's like sunlight out and stuff. So we have hopefully a new crowd that we can talk to here.
Sunlight.
Yeah.
Sunlight.
So let's talk a little bit about well, my gosh, I don't even have the banner up, so I won't even announce that. I went through all of this trouble to set these banners up. I want to start out with the big guest appearance that people have been talking about for the past couple of weeks. And, the internet, as you know, always blows stuff up. It's like you hear there's going to be, there's going to be a big guest appearance. And the internet, including people who purport to know, through rumors who it's going to be, and people who start writing articles that go directly to the biggest person they can think of, thus spoiling it. It's like, I heard that Jesus is coming back from the dead, and he's going to be on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And he's coming back for that. It's actually, it's not a dude playing Jesus. It's actually Jesus, who's coming to play.
Well, I heard
how
it was
big it is.
I heard it was Mephisto. Mephisto is coming back.
And it's not the character Mephisto. It's actually Mephisto.
Yeah.
No, it's Agatha.
Right.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's always the big, like, for example, I heard that it was Chris Evans. Chris Evans is coming back as Captain. No.
Chris shut that down right away.
You guys go so big. You guys go so big that when the big person comes, it's like, well, it wasn't Chris Evans. I don't know why everyone said it was Chris Evans. And it's
Number one, you should have known it wasn't Chris Evans in the first place.
Actually, the guest appearance is really cool, and the guest appearance is something that will be a big deal, but it's not Chris Evans. Okay?
It's not Chris Evans.
Nope.
It's not, all of the crazy people that have been rumored for this role. Take it easy, everyone. Don't spoil the damn thing before that by naming the biggest person that you can think of for this thing.
It's none of the Chris's. It's not Evans. It's not Hemsworth. It's not Pine. And it's not the other dude.
No, and they have not resurrected Stan Lee. Stan Lee didn't show up.
No.
Now that would have been impressive. And it wasn't Deadpool dressed as Stan Lee either.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, Walt,
and it wasn't Wolverine either. That was another one.
I heard Wolverine. I heard that too. Like I said, everyone goes as big as they possibly can. Walt, you want to talk about the guest appearance?
So that guest appearance, I will say, was farthest from my mind, but
very unexpected.
Very unexpected, but it's very Shield related. So
yes,
and
go ahead and name who it is.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus,
right, as Valentina Allegra de Fontaine,
also known as Contessa.
Contessa.
also known as Madam Hydra at one point. So
Right.
also a former love interest. Yeah, also
Yeah.
a former love interest of Nick Fury
Yep.
in the
And
comics.
Captain America.
And Captain America.
And
So
Captain
this
America.
is so.
How about
this
that?
is
How about that three-way, folks?
yeah. So when I saw the purple shoes, the purple high heel boots,
the purple
and
streak through her hair.
the purple
Yeah,
streak
yeah,
through her hair, I lost my ish.
Oh, you're not the only one who lost your ish on that.
I lost my ish, and I'm a Julia Louis Dreyfus fan too. So I was just giddy. I was super giddy. So
Yeah. Beth, what do you think?
that was fun.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to see her in this role. I think she's going to knock it out of the ballpark. There's so much with that character to begin with. And heck, we've just got the tip of the iceberg right now. I mean, she's going to be fun in this.
And to add to that, she's our Black Widow link.
Yeah, she is. Big time.
How is she connected to Black Widow?
She's in the Black Widow movie. I've been reading around that she's got a role in the Black Widow movie.
Really?
That's what I read in an article.
She was also the leader of the Femme Fatales, which Sharon Carter's involved in. So Marvel's looking, they're looking at they're setting a lot of stuff up with this episode. Yeah,
they are. I love Julie Louis Dreyfus since Seinfeld and onward. By
Saturday Night Live,
Veep, and everything else she's done. She's been wonderful. This is obviously a much more serious role for her. Although she had a comedic turn in this as well. Her delivery was amazing. I mean, you want to talk about owning the scene.
She owned that scene.
Yeah. She was all over that. I mean, they really wrote that
gift
character.
wrapped that scene.
Yeah. I mean, they really did a great job with, giving her a great role and her nailing it. Showing that she's such an expert at this stuff. Given her age, I would say that she may have a little history with Nick Fury, maybe back in the 90s.
I'm thinking too.
I mean, she could easily have been a love interest of Fury back.
I want to see
that.
Time. Oh, I want to see that.
I think that's interesting. They've definitely placed her kind of contextually, with him. I mean, if it was played by someone who was 25 years old, that wouldn't have worked. But they now can play off of, Nick Fury if they want to. So that's cool. It obviously, like you said, goes right straight into S.H.I.E.L.D., although, S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't really exist anymore. But it also, in the comics, you never know exactly how they're going to play this stuff out. But she was a member of Hydra and became a bad guy. I think it's very interesting that they are pairing her up with this reconstitute, U.S. agent. I mean, he's rapidly becoming U.S. agent. And I'm not super familiar with, his background. I never really read. I mean, I didn't read Captain America, much less U.S. Agent, comics and stuff. But it seems like that's where they're going with this. And yeah, there's a lot of history here that they can play off of. I had not heard that there was maybe a connection to the Black Widow movie. That may be why they're getting this damn thing out now. Because you can't, you can't transpose this stuff. It'll be out of order if they don't, that may be why we got it, rapidly on the heels of WandaVision.
She's also part of Janus, which was an organization started by Norman Osborn, which also ties into Thunderbolts. And U.S. Agent ties into Thunderbolts. So does Helmut Zemo. So Marvel's looking at the larger universe and starting
Bucky.
I mean, Bucky was leader of the Thunderbolts as well, but I don't see them doing that with Bucky, not this round. Mm-hmm. They're doing something else with Bucky, especially with the Wakanda aspect of his storyline. I see Bucky going in a different direction. But I'm starting to see
him rolled into that.
Yeah, I'm starting to see them, starting to roll in some of the other storylines, including the Thunderbolts, which will be interesting to see if they do anything with, if they continue, going
cool.
forward with that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean,
who else is in Thunderbolts?
Luke Cage has been a leader of the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, he
Ooh,
was
I'd like
one
to see
too.
Luke Cage back.
And most of those members of the Thunderbolts have been mostly villains. In when it first started, they were villains in disguise. But
Zemo is the one that started Thunderbolts. Bucky
Right.
was actually one of the last leaders of Thunderbolts.
Okay.
I mean, this all fits in then.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they may be doing Thunderbolts. Who else would they grab from who's established to put in there?
Well, we really haven't established those villains yet. So
yeah.
So if they go that route by establishing like Moonstone and crap, I can't remember them all.
Beetle, Fixer, Minister, Screaming Mimi, Beetle, Onslaught.
That's right.
Onslaught.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Trying to remember who else.
I mean, and then if we go back to one of the later versions of the Thunderbolts, we had Red Hulk, the Punisher, Elektra.
Yeah, that's more kind of what I remember.
Yeah, because Punisher takes over as leader of the Thunderbolts after Bucky.
Yeah, and then after that version, it was Luke Cage.
Cool.
Yep.
So
Gary is watching.
Elaine
from YouTube.
Elaine.
It says Elaine, yeah.
Elaine.
We got a little Elaine there.
Got some Elaine love going on.
Yeah. And thanks for checking on us, Gary. I appreciate it. Gary was great on the show this week, by the way.
Gary was great on the show. Gotta have him back.
Him laughing got me in a laughing fit, and I couldn't stop.
I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard.
I was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do? Me. I can't breathe. I got to conduct this damn show." All right, our next subject on this is what I title "Yeah, We Do." At the beginning of the episode 5, John Walker asks Sam and Bucky, you don't want to do this, or says to them, you don't want to do this, and Bucky gives him a look and goes, "Yeah,
we do."
So, Beth? What do you think about the showdown between these three characters?
I was waiting for it, and just they get into it. Walker on the super serum definitely showed his strength and his anger in this scene. He's tough. And mind you, he's going against Bucky. Bucky's a super soldier in his own right.
Yes, he is.
And
highly experienced.
Yeah, and it took both our boys to take him down.
It took them
and
both.
He's trouble. He is trouble with a capital T. And I think our boys have their work cut out for him to make sure he stays down. With Marvel leading him down the path of U.S. Agent, it's going to take a while to get rid of John Walker.
He's going to be around for a while.
Oh yeah. He's
not going anywhere.
He should be around for a while.
Yeah, I think the defining moment of that scene though was after they get Walker down. Bucky's holding the shield, and you see him start to walk, and in my head I'm going, is he going to walk away or is he going to leave it? And he lays the shield next to Sam, and I'm like, there you go. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Bucky turn around and say, we're in this together, but you need to carry this. And that is the defining moment right there. Mm-hmm. When he lays that shield next to Sam. That scene was great.
They just they went right to it.
Yeah.
They didn't hesitate.
Yeah, that was the big fight scene in the show.
That was the big fight scene of the show. To me, it kind of set the tone for the show, if you ask me.
Yes.
Because it's like, okay, so now this fight is over and they've got the shield back. What now?
Yeah.
And even John Walker's story, you know, after this fight is very interesting.
Yeah. I'm going to mention that here in a minute.
But I'm not going to get into that now. But that fight scene was just that's one of the better fight scenes in the show. I mean, it was
good.
It was really good. I can't wait. I can't wait to see Falcon using the wings and the shield together.
Oh, I know.
I just can't wait to see that.
You know, we saw Bucky turn around and say to Sam, "Let's take the shield back. Let's do it ourselves." Sam was not on board with that idea at first, and it took John Walker killing the member of the Flag Smashers in the previous episode for Sam to realize Bucky's right, we need to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
And that scene in and of itself, that closing scene of episode 4 was a very defining scene for the series as well.
The blood stain.
The blood stain on the shield.
On the shield.
Yeah.
Heavy.
It's very heavy.
Yeah. I mean, and if you ask me, that was probably the darkest Marvel scene.
Yes.
That we've seen in the MCU, you know, excluding everything that was on Netflix. This is probably Marvel's darkest scene to date.
I think including everything, all the previous Netflix shows too. Well, I think this really there is such a symbolism with that shield. Okay, and this is something, you know, Bucky even says throughout the series so far. That shield is a symbol. To see, we've never seen blood on the shield before, ever, and to see that much blood on Cap's shield, that just, you know, that gave me goosebumps because
it's disturbing.
It is very disturbing, yeah, because especially knowing what Captain America means to people, the symbol that he is himself, you know, and knowing Steve Rogers' legacy. Seeing that much blood on the shield, knowing what John Walker did and how he did it. Oh yeah,
very publicly.
Yes.
I guess that the head chop is going to be his go-to move. His finale on everything.
Oh yeah,
He tried it about 3 times in that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think look, I really enjoyed the fight. It was really good. They certainly did not undersell John Walker's abilities.
No.
I also think that, you know, they said that the super soldier serum, which is not easy to say fast, his buddy told him, you know, it makes you more of what you are. And I think in this case that this super soldier serum makes him a tougher dude, but I think it's also kind of messed with his brain a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think, and I think it's done the same thing with the other, you know, the flag smashers.
Yeah.
I think that if they didn't have that stuff running through them, it's like an adrenaline type thing. Like, I think that it makes them too, you know, violent or something.
Remember what Erskine says to Steve in the very first movie. It takes what's there, and, you know, so he wanted Steve to stay the way he was, not a perfect soldier, but a good man. And we've always seen that with Steve Rogers. Now, we know Armin Zola's serum that was tested on Bucky wasn't the same serum, but Bucky, for the most part, stayed true to who Bucky was. And we're starting to see that.
And they had to reprogram him in order to get what they wanted out of him. So
they had to brainwash Bucky in order to turn him into the Winter Soldier. We saw what happened with Howard Stark's serum with the other Winter Soldiers that Zemo put down. They all went, you know, under Karpoff's, you know, experiments. So now we have yet another version of the serum. And so far, the only 2 that have managed to pull out of it, you know, and continue to be pretty much who they are, because we are starting to see Bucky become truly Bucky again. I mean, come on, he was flirting with Sam's sister. That's Bucky. We're starting to see him come back to himself. The only 2 that was great.
I think he did that almost as much to to poke Sam as anything,
I think so. I think
Hey,
so. But we're
yeah.
starting.
which is great. That's what
seeing
friends
them.
do.
We're seeing the two that managed to,
Uh,
be
we could
themselves through the serum. Appear.
actually say 3 if you throw in Isaiah Bradley.
Yes, 3. Yeah. Isaiah's the other one.
Because what we're getting off of this is the super soldier serum that's floating around out there now is based off of Isaiah Bradley.
Yep.
Right.
So there, like you said, this is a lot of unpacking.
There's a lot of unpacking.
Let's go to the next deal on that deal. What are your thoughts on this episode? Walt, I'll go to you first. Just you can talk about whatever is on your mind about this episode.
Like I've said before, we were talking before we came on air, we were talking about Easter eggs, and the title of the episode being Truth for me was the biggest Easter egg, because I had a feeling that we would hear more from Isaiah Bradley, which we did. And that story, it, however short, summarized it was from the actual comic book. That was the comic book. That was the whole story there. And then after that whole little conversation, the conversation with Bucky and Sam, when Bucky realizes that he and Steve didn't think about the ramifications of what would happen if by giving the shield to a black man.
Right.
They didn't think about the historical ramifications. And for me, that hit me personally because of conversations I've had with friends of mine, me being a black person and the majority of my friends being white or some other race or whatever. In today's climate, when I've had some of my friends say, I understand now. And it goes to that, you've heard people say, oh, well, I don't see color. I just see human beings. And I had to explain, like, well, that's great, but you still have to see color, because not everybody sees everybody as a human being. They see them as their color. And if you don't recognize the color, then you don't recognize then you will never recognize the problem. Right. So in this instance, that whole little conversation, the apology and everything, and that was cool. And the other coolness about this, and Beth will probably agree with me on this, is how comfortable the two of them were tossing that shield around.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
throwing it like a frisbee, basically.
That's what I was thinking.
The two of them just tossing that shield around,
yeah,
like it was no big thing.
Yeah.
And I was sitting here going, oh my God, what if we end up with both of those guys wearing red, white, and blue at the end?
God,
at the yes. I said, I'll have a stroke if that happens. But but those are the things that the big things that came off across to me is that right there.
You're kind of, there's an aspect of what I'm going to talk about here in a moment that you're talking about. But here is, without getting too much into what I'm going to say, because I'm going to let Beth talk first. How great is it that Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that Marvel Studios is introducing what you just were talking about? You've got Isaiah Bradley, you've got Sam going to get a damn loan. He's an Avenger. He saved the Earth. He can't get a damn loan, and the police, think that he's, causing problems, and I mean they've set this up amazingly well, and then they go talk to Isaiah Bradley, and he's a bitter old man about the fact that a black man can't hold that shield. There's so much going on here.
Oh yeah.
That, unlike a lot of the stuff that I detest with social justice stuff, this is part of the story. This is a good story.
Yeah.
This is not social justice first.
Yeah.
This is telling a good story first and putting it into
historical context too.
Yeah.
It's putting it in context. It's making it part of character development. It's
Right.
making it part of telling a story, and it's quite brilliant. Let's not gloss over the fact that this is presented in a format where people can get it, where they might not get it otherwise. And it's presented in a way that is, I mean, I wouldn't say subtle, but it's done masterfully.
It's genuine.
It's genuine.
It's really done masterfully. I can't see how you could watch this and not go, oh, yeah. I feel like I understand a little bit better without you taking that shield and, cutting my head off with it. Instead of doing that, you have demonstrated something that I think has maybe taught me something.
Yeah.
How about that? Not bad, Marvel Studios. Well done on that. Beth, what do you think about the episode?
About the episode in general. Oh my gosh.
Or about what Walt said.
No, Walt pinpointed it. I was sitting there watching the episode, and what Walt said was exactly going through my head. Steve and Bucky never did think of it because, Sam is their friend, and let's face it, these 200-year-old guys may not necessarily be up to date on everything that happened. I mean, we went through the whole civil,
civil rights and
rights movement and everything, while Steve is frozen and God knows where Bucky is, under the influence of Hydra. So they're both looking at Sam as their friend and not looking at the color of his skin or his race. And so they don't think of the ramifications. I'm glad Marvel didn't gloss this over. I'm glad Marvel touched on it because it is relevant right now. And people need to
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, people need to be aware of it. Yeah.
It's so relevant.
It is so relevant. Just the whole way that they've packaged this, the way the writers have done it, is perfect to me. It's just everything together. It is genuine. For me, the highlight of this episode was definitely the conversation between Sam and Bucky. They're throwing the shield like it's a frisbee, okay, and they're each catching it like it's nothing. But they're having this meaningful conversation. Sam is being the counselor that we know Sam Wilson is. Bucky is, being the counselee. Bucky needs to hear what Sam is saying so that he can move forward with his life. And they're doing it. They're throwing the shield like it's therapy. I want more therapy shield throwing, okay? I want more therapy shield throwing. And I'll be honest, Bucky is my jam. I've never made any bones about that.
Yeah.
But Sam working out with the shield?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want that Captain America. I want that Captain America right there.
Hell yeah.
Give me Mackie in the red, white, and blue with the wings. I am good to go.
And can I say that because of how they're framing this, I want to see him with the shield too.
Yes,
I want that. I want
Bucky
that moment.
Is not ready for the shield.
I want that moment. It's they have framed this beautifully.
Yeah.
They have set this moment because it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Bucky is
coming
not
1 week
ready.
from now. But they are saying, America, get ready. There's going to be a black man with the shield. Okay.
Yeah.
And
there's go ahead.
And they've made it not just in the story, but they've made it symbolically very important for this nation that we live in here, by telling the story the way that they have.
The other thing that I really liked about this episode, and it goes back with last week's episode, is when Io looks at Bucky and says something to him in Wakandan.
Oh yeah,
that's so cool.
Do you guys know what she said to him?
No. Do you?
Yeah, I actually found it.
All right.
I remember what it was, but I can't. I forgot the meaning. So
Yeah, go ahead.
May Bast curse you, James, is what she
That's right.
says.
That's
She
right.
basically throws the worst curse, on someone that a Wakandan can give them. Okay. Yeah. Which is why at the end of this episode, when he turns Zemo over to the Dora Milaje, she turns around and looks at him and basically says, stay out of Wakanda for a little bit. Let things die down.
Give it a moment to breathe.
Yeah.
But she was pretty cool about the situation.
She was.
Obviously, clearly. She sees the big picture, and she knows what happened there.
She does. She sees the bigger picture. She sees that Bucky, made amends by by contacting them and turning Zemo over and everything. And so in her own way, helping Bucky with the box with his one favor, that's kind of her way of saying, okay, yeah, I kind of forgive you. Just, stay out of Wakanda for a little bit. Let things die down.
I think there's something between those two.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Really?
That's what I think.
News blast.
That's what I think. And if they write that in there, more power to them.
Oh man, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Bucky is a strong character. He needs a strong girl.
One last thing I'd like to say is, since we're talking about Falcon getting the shield, I'd like to throw a big shout out to Nick Spencer out there, the guy who actually wrote that story for Marvel.
Oh yeah.
He's the one who wrote that story, and that story was phenomenal. So if any of you want to read the Sam Wilson Captain America, by all means get it. He also wrote the Evil Captain America story too.
Yep.
Cool.
Side by both of those stories at the same time. So
highly recommend the Sam Wilson run.
Highly recommended.
I just shared a story about I can't remember his first name. His last name is Brubaker. He did
Ed
Brubaker. Yes,
he did the writing for this thing, and they talk about getting credit for telling these stories. These stories were out there. It's not being told exactly the same way.
Yeah.
But the gist of what's going on here has been laid out previously in comics. They're rolling it into the MCU, which is a little different. But he was talking about, kind of being disrespected in some regards, with being credited for this stuff. And I think I think you calling out the writer on this thing is a really good thing, Walt. And I think that these guys probably deserve a little bit more recognition for setting this up. You have to realize that, this is 6 episodes of this series, but it's multiple,
because I think
plots that have gone through the Marvel comic universe.
Yeah, because I think the run was 2 years. I think the run was 2 years. For
at least,
yeah, and it's it's being boiled down to an hour or two.
Yeah,
but it's good quality stuff, and that's kind of what I want to talk about on this, which is just kind of overall. One of the things that I am, that I look at and monitor online is either on Twitter or through articles, or Task Force Geek started on Quora. I see people ask questions on Quora and stuff. There is this narrative by people, and it's not just 13-year-olds. There's a narrative of people who say, I don't care about Sam's sister. I don't want to see Bucky, dating people. They don't want to see any of the backstory here. And so what I want to do is advocate for the storytelling of this show. Can we talk about the attention span of the public versus how good this story is? This story is really good, folks. We are getting an amazing, masterful story here. Can we talk about Isaiah Bradley and how Sam is trying to get to the point of carrying this shield and how complex that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Bucky has resolved his issue with Zemo by choosing not to kill him? His character is he kills everyone.
His
That's his,
character is an assassin. I mean, he is a trained
that's
soldier, a trained
he's an
sniper.
assassin.
Yeah,
He
but
purposely the
yep,
scene where he's with Zemo there, where he pulls out the gun and the gun has no bullets in it, and he drops the bullets on the ground. That's called character development, folks.
yep, yep.
Yes.
And
We
no,
did.
he didn't have a fist fight with Zemo, you know, which is what I mean. People want. We got a fight at the beginning of the thing. What we got was what's called storytelling, folks, and
Here's
character development. Hang on, let me
yeah.
let me get through my thing. This is really good shit, folks. Irrespective of the punching, this is what is called good, relevant storytelling.
Yes.
Okay.
Preach.
This
Preach
is how
louder.
repairing the boat becomes an allegory for getting the community together and helping yourself up, and about you know the community helping, and about repairing at the same time the relationship between Sam and Bucky. Hello? The boat was set up in the first episode of this series.
Yep.
Yep.
In the 5th episode of the series, we get the climax of that, and it's important. His sister is important, folks.
Yep.
Even John Walker, the bad guy that everyone hates, that wants to do memes about the guy, his story has been compelling.
Yep.
Of course, we don't want him to carry the shield. Of course, he's not Captain America. That's the effing point. It's a story. It's a story. These people are setting this up. You don't want to hear about John Walker, or you just want him to punch people. There's more going on here, folks. Relax. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Please. This is the sort of storytelling that I miss in movies today.
And in TV.
Yes.
Absolutely.
TV,
Although
you know.
TV, you know, TV
TV's getting better.
TV is one of the places where you get long form content.
Yeah.
Which allows a little breathing. You know, like I remember watching in Game of Thrones, and every episode they wanted dragons burning shit to the ground. It's like, no, I want to see these. I mean, there's 6,000 characters in Game of Thrones. I want to see what happens. I want their story. I want the development. I want some of them to die, and some of them to find bravery, and some of them to be cowards. And I want to see their story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel shouldn't be just about punching. It should also be about character development. Audiences right now are so jaded. They only want, you know, Fast and Furious movies where it's just one car chase after another, and it's a car flying over from one building to another or whatever. You know, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy the roller coaster ride. I get it. But, you know, comparing it also to the Snyder cut of Justice League. Look at the Justice League movie, which Warner Brothers decreed that it must be 2 hours in length, versus what we got with the Snyder cut. Now, I don't propose that every movie be 4 hours long. I'm probably the only person on the planet that has the attention span for that. I mean, I can take a slow movie for 4 hours, okay? No punching at all, okay? No explosions. I can take that. But what we got in the Snyder cut of Justice League was character development and stories where we learn about the Flash. Like the Flash I didn't like, suddenly I did like, because I got to learn a little bit more about him. I sympathized more with him. And the situation where he goes in and talks to his dad, I started to like the character. And at the end, he stretches himself. Spoiler alert for Justice League. He stretches himself at the end of that thing, and, you know, achieves the speed of light for the purpose of, you know, controlling time. And, you know, that was his character development. Cyborg, who was a afterthought, and we've been hearing from who's the actor? Ray
Fisher.
Ray
Ray
Fisher.
Fisher. Ray Fisher has been complaining about this since it was originally released, about how he was treated on this thing, because he knew all of this stuff was sitting on the cutting room floor. His character Cyborg was the heart of the movie.
Yeah,
They excised the heart.
Yeah, agreed.
I'll go further back. In Aliens, they took the scene out where Ripley found out that her daughter aged out while she was floating in space in hibernation.
Yep.
They show her a picture of her daughter and said, well, she died several years ago while you were in cryogenic sleep. When you remove that scene, which is only a 3-minute scene, when you remove that scene, you remove the entire reason why Ripley latches onto Newt like a mother.
Yep.
Because she's missing her daughter. It's storytelling.
Yep.
No, we did not have Ripley shooting at aliens during that scene. I'm sorry.
That scene was important
to storytelling. So what I've said from the beginning of this thing is that this Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a 6-hour movie. And the creators have since then have backed me up on that. The creators have said, hey, we're doing a 6-hour movie here. So here is my desire. My desire is that people who appreciate storytelling do what I just did and speak out and say, you know what? I want Sam's sister to be in this story.
Yep.
I want the boat to be in this story. I want Sam to be struggling with his own insecurities about holding this shield, and about Isaiah and how, a black man will never hold this shield. I want Bucky to be in therapy sessions and to be talking about, what it means to be a hero versus being an assassin.
With or without Sam.
With or without Sam.
Yeah.
I want those two to be throwing the shield around like a frisbee and talking to each other, not just about their own relationships, but about bigger stuff. The fight scenes and the explosions will come and go, and they're fun, and I love them, and I want them. But the power and the importance of this series is the storytelling. They're doing a great job at it. The people who say that there just needs to be punching and explosions need to grow up.
Yeah.
They need to relax.
Yes. Yes.
I'll even go further and say Torres, Sam's information
They're
guy.
Building him up too.
I want to see more of him.
I think look, Sam left the wings with him. That's very symbolic.
I want to see more.
He's
Torres.
going to get the wings.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be Torres getting the wings, and I think that's going to happen soon. I think it's going to happen quickly.
Yeah.
Look at the character development they gave us on Zemo. Okay, we come into Civil War with this guy.
I like that guy.
He's out to kill, the Winter Soldier. He's out to take down Captain America and the Avengers for what happened in Sokovia. He starts with the Winter Soldier. We don't know a lot about him. It's the last 5 minutes of that movie when T'Challa overhears, the conversation on his phone, that you find out that his family was killed during the whole Sokovian incident. Mm-hmm. Okay. And now we actually get more backstory on him. Unless you read the comic books, you didn't know that he was a baron, that he had money, that, up until this point, we didn't even know what happened to Sokovia.
Yeah.
But they've built Zemo up as well. He's gone from this villain to a character that we all want to watch the hour cut of him dancing in the club for no other reason than
You just want to watch him dance.
He's
Yeah.
much
Wanna watch
more
him dance like
nuanced.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I
he
I,
was
I want
an
to.
interesting character in Civil War as well,
Yeah,
because again he defeated the Avengers without punching them in the
Without
face.
punching them in the face.
exactly. You know, he. You know, look at what he did in Civil War. He pops the curve just to get into Karpov's house, and just to talk to Karpov. Yeah, he gets rid of Karpov, but he doesn't get rid of him by punching him. He hangs him upside down in a you know vat of water, in a sink of water to get rid of Karpov without even throwing a punch.
Yeah.
And then he goes through the process of learning the Russian in order to be able to speak the list of words that takes Bucky from Bucky to Winter Soldier. We see more character development, and this is not the end of us seeing Zemo either. There's a lot more still to come with him.
He is still very much a piece on the board.
We get some character development even of the Dora Milaje with Io. The first time we see Io again in Civil War is when she's facing off with Nat down in the parking garage, and she tells Nat, "Move or I will move you."
Yeah.
How much would you like to see a series with those?
I would love to see a Dora Milaje series. Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, we are getting a Wakanda TV series as well,
yes,
so
yeah,
we will be seeing them. So,
which the Wakanda TV series could also roll into what they're doing with Bucky. We could see crossover with Bucky in that series as well.
Yep.
You know what? I wouldn't doubt that.
Or Jesus. I've heard Jesus.
Mephisto.
No, guys, it's Agatha. It was always Agatha.
It's always Agatha.
It was always Agatha.
And going back to Zemo, remember the little argument that Bucky and Sam were having, and then Zemo butted in, and he's like, you know what? He's a jerk, but he's right. Sam says that. He goes, Zemo's that character is very well developed.
He's a complex dude.
Well, just about everyone in this. In the Marvels are all complex, so
especially in this series.
Yeah,
and
I'm telling you,
look at Sharon Carter.
I wish that I had written this series. I mean,
right?
really, I would be.
Oh my god!
I would be like, hey, check this out. I mean, this is really well done.
Why are we not writing this? Hold on here. Time out. Why are we not writing this? Look at Sharon Carter. Okay, we know she's Peggy's niece. We see her go from Agent 13 to Sharon, who helps the guys get out of a sticky situation, to now
putting them in a sticky situation.
Put them in a sticky situation.
Yeah.
Okay, what is going on with Sharon? We're seeing character development with her, but it's still kind of
they just
sneaky.
touched on her.
Yeah.
As
a story writer myself. Even the minor character story development, even the minor character, little things. I want to know more about Sarah, Sam's sister.
That's exactly why I just ranted for 5 or 10 minutes.
It's too important.
Yeah,
this is not only is it well directed, and they've put some money behind this, and it's all important within the context of the MCU. But this is really well written. This is super solid writing here, folks.
Your supporting characters are there for a reason. It's worth the time to learn their story, even if all you get is them looking at you over a fire, saying a bunch of words that don't trigger you. You're still getting a character development. Why did she take such an interest in Bucky and the deprogramming? What is the real gist between Sarah and Sam?
Yep. This 5th episode paid off on a lot of the storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
That we have, I mean, they're going to save the 6th episode for the big final battle and all that. So we're going to get all the things that the people, there will be people that will bitch online. They're bitching right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like, it's just a lot of, Sam's sister.
The only action we had was in the first 10 minutes.
And then it's just boring. I was falling asleep. And it's like, dude, if you're falling asleep, you're missing the
whole point. You're missing the whole point.
You're missing the whole show.
Yeah.
It got really good after that fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It got really good. Let me ask you guys, what's in the box? Who wants to take
What's
this?
in the box?
What's in the box?
I'm
I'm pretty sure that box is holding a Wakanda-designed Captain America uniform with a new set of wings.
Yep.
You think it's going to have wings?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that the way it is in the comics?
Yes, sir.
Does he have wings in the comics?
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that it'll be like a jetpack instead of wings, or do you think it will be wings?
Oh no, it'll be
No,
wings.
he'll have wings.
It'll be wings.
It'll
be wings.
Is it possible that it's going to be? My thoughts are, he gave the wings to Torres.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that he's going to get something that's like Black Panther's outfit, where it is either armor or it
possibly
it like absorbs the energy and dispels it?
I'm thinking yes. Otherwise, why would Bucky go to the Wakandans and ask them for the favor?
Right, because anyone could give him some armor.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a feeling that he's, because Sam doesn't have the super soldier serum,
right,
and because he's going to be fighting super powered people, he's going to need a little edge.
Yeah.
And so
agreed.
my thought is that, the shield is an edge, but what if you gave him some armor that would make him kind of invulnerable, like kind of like an Iron Man sword, and then also maybe a few little extras like Spider-Man got
some bells and whistles,
some Wakandan bells and whistles, because we all know those are the best.
Maybe give him some vibranium armor, and then also give him some heads up stuff and some extras that will make him, maybe even something that allows him to, like an exosuit, which allows him to maybe jump over, walls and punch through walls, and I'm just spitballing here because I don't know. But
and going back to his original wings, if you recall, I want to say first episode, they are still government issue.
Yep.
Yes.
So him saying keep them and Torres getting them, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Torres coming in with a set of repaired wings.
He might show up. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
We saw Rhodey do this with Tony.
You might see it this quick.
Yeah.
You think maybe the next episode we might see him with?
We might. I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath over it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did. I mean, he's Air Force, so.
I would love to see that. I like that character.
And he knows the tech, so
he's been good.
And he's been good. I love that character for some reason. I don't know why. Something about him is
he's got a good rapport. He's got a good rapport with Sam.
Yeah.
All right.
So
you guys think that he's gonna have wings on that?
Oh yeah.
From that Wakanda suit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a wing. I think it's gonna be a winged Captain America suit.
All right. Whatever it is, it's gonna be cool as hell.
I can't wait. Yeah. I had the same reaction Sam had when he opened up the box.
I thought they were going to maybe end with that, but they're saving it.
Yeah.
They're saving it for the big reveal in the next episode.
I was cussing at the TV set when they didn't show me what was in the box. I was like, show me what's in the box.
Yeah, they're doing the routine like Pulp Fiction
where
the suitcase glows at him, What's in the box? What's in the box? My next question, and I don't have a deal for it here, is what about the post-credit scene?
We're seeing the setup of U.S. Agent Big.
By the way, if you haven't, if you didn't stick around, there's a post-credit scene, folks.
There's a post-credit scene. Well, like we were talking about earlier about spoilers, they've already spoiled this on the internet because they've already shown.
So you've seen the outfit?
No, I haven't seen I haven't seen the outfit, but I've seen the shield.
I saw the shield. Yeah,
the shield. Okay. It's the same outfit, but it's a different shield. And there's a new shield. He makes the shield in the post credit scene, and they've already revealed the shield because I think. If I'm not mistaken, just after we started here, the trailer for episode 6 has dropped.
Oh, okay.
So But yeah, yesterday I want to say it was
I
yesterday.
almost don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I almost don't want to watch it either.
I've been staying away from them.
But
Come on, you
I'd
guys,
rather
you can
just
do
see
it.
it's one episode.
Yeah.
It's 7 days from now.
yeah, so but I still might go watch it anyway. But
because someone's going to spoil it for me, I'm probably going to have to go watch it so that
Right.
I don't
Here.
get it in the, like a headline for an article or a Quora question.
yeah, but
so I have to imagine that a steel shield that the guy makes in his basement is not going to be that impressive.
but
do you think that
how
it's
do
going
we
to lead to something like maybe someone will drop off a
but are we
a vibranium
sure
shield at some point?
are we sure that it's steel or something else? I mean,
Yeah, we don't know what he's making it out of.
He's using an arc welder to
well, yeah,
put
this
it
is
together.
true, but
you're not going to be able to do vibranium with an arc welder.
no, you're right.
And they don't have adamantium yet.
or to our knowledge.
To our knowledge, they don't have adamantium.
To our knowledge.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's coming rapidly.
Especially if I don't want to jump that far ahead, but the rumors about the Wolverine Disney Plus series was an anthology series. I guess basically it would be like Marvel Presents. So anyway, that's a tangent for later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me on Walt. Don't get me started on the Wolverine tangent. You know better.
Where do you think they're going next? I mean, we talked a little bit about this. Where do you think they're going with this next episode, and then after that?
I have no clue. I'm not even going to guess.
Yeah,
I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to wait.
Watch it unfold.
And watch it unfold. I do know that, like I said earlier, the Julia Louis-Dreyfus cameo was a setup for Black Widow.
She's going to. I mean, there's a Vanity Fair article right now with an interview with Julia Louis-Dreyfus has dropped today. That they're not holding on to the spoiler either.
Yeah, so
they have big plans for that character.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of a big thing with Marvel.
And it's interesting that you brought up Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Feige is always thinking about 10 steps ahead.
Yeah.
And you can see the Young Avengers coming. You can see the what's the Skrull War thing?
Secret War. The
Secret War.
Yeah, they're definitely building towards that.
Yeah.
You can see this.
Not to mention
Kang.
Yeah, not to mention the Iron was it Iron Wars or whatever?
Well,
Armor Wars.
Secret Wars will eventually lead to Watcher on the Wall, which we've already seen them start setting that up at the post credit of the last Spider-Man movie with Nick being on the ship.
Yeah, and believe it or not, Vision is a key character in Armor Wars. So.
Yeah. So we know we haven't gotten rid of Vision yet.
Oh no.
No. Vision is so not gone. No.
And in particular, this version of Vision was key in Armor Wars. So
yeah. I think we're going to see Sam with the shield at the end of the episode for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see. I think he's going to be with the shield at the first of the episode. That's going to.
Yeah.
They're going to. I mean, it's Showdown New York City. Everyone's going to converge on this thing. Since you mentioned it, I think Torres is. I think there's a definite possibility that he shows up at some point. I think that it's going to start out with Bucky going in there and trying to solve the issue, and then Sam drops by in the outfit, and then it's going to probably be about a 45-minute fight, or a 30-minute fight with a 15-minute denouement.
The one thing I want to see, the one little piece of this whole story I want to see wrap up goes back to something that Sam said in this episode, and that is for Bucky to do the work. I want to see Bucky go back to the little Japanese man that he befriended and have that conversation that he needs to have so they both heal.
That's definitely the dangling thing that they can do with him at the end. The end of Pain and Mom. That is definitely something that he needs to talk to.
And finish that date.
And finish the date.
Yes, because that's also dangling. Because he just walked out.
He just walked out.
Who else?
How old are you? 106.
Yeah.
Who else besides Bucky could get away with doing that?
Needs to go back and at least, if not,
finish the date. Dang it!
Just if not, finish the date.
That guy needs it. He needs to.
He needs to find the charm that he had in the very opening scenes of the very first Captain America movie, where he's setting his best friend up on the date. Right. That's the Bucky I want to see at the end of this.
He was doing that with Sam's sister, so.
I know. So,
I mean,
the spark is there. We just need to fan that flame a bit more.
Yeah. Talking a bit about telling a story. Let's not forget that these are characters that have been around now for a decade. We've had these characters for a long time.
Yeah.
And they managed to tell this story and do this character development without deconstructing them. They didn't take anything away from these characters. They moved them to the next thing.
To the next level.
And set this up brilliantly. I can't, in many ways, we've already had that, like I've said, most people will not understand or appreciate this, but we've already had the payoff with the character development with Sam and Bucky in this thing. And now it's just time to have fun, which is what everyone wants. That's fine. But I think that this fifth episode was really, really well done. It just really it solidifies this in my mind as maybe one of my favorite things that Marvel has put out.
Yeah, definitely.
They keep raising the bar.
Yeah.
They keep raising the bar. Let's put it that way. They keep raising the bar.
They do.
They better not disappoint with Loki. That's all I got to say.
I can't. I don't know how you can.
I don't see that happening.
I think that it's going. I feel like Loki's going to be yet another wonderful, favorite thing of mine.
Yeah, and like we've said before, each one of these is a different style, a different style of storytelling, a different style of story. WandaVision was great. It's like, oh, how can they top WandaVision? WandaVision was just great. Then here's Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and you're like, oh crap, they're out doing WandaVision. I'm like, oh my god. And the next thing you know, we've got Loki coming up next, and then
it's always a train wreck with Loki anyway. So
yeah, and we're getting, post Avengers Loki.
Yeah.
So he's going to be sassy.
Yeah.
Oh, is he going to be sassy?
But he's going to go through his character arc again too. Obviously, it's about redeeming that character. We get to watch it all over again, which is super wonderful. And I think that's going to, I think Marvel gets it.
Yeah, Marvel gets it.
I think that they understand storytelling. I wish that the general public and not just 13-year-olds got that this is something special. You guys are getting something special here.
Yeah.
If you didn't have Sam's sister and the boat story and all this sort of stuff, there's very little consequence to what is going on. It's not just about power levels and
the fight
scenes.
Yeah.
Actually, you bring up
about something else.
What you're saying about it's not about power levels. They bring a very human aspect to Bucky into the story when Sam just looks at him and goes, "Why didn't you use the arm?"
Oh, right.
Bucky looks at him
like, "I'm right-handed."
I'm right-handed.
Right. Yeah.
That's a very human thing. Why didn't you
Yeah.
use your left hand to do so? Well, I'm right-handed naturally.
Yeah. He goes,
It's a very human thing, and they have kept these characters human.
All of the dialogue between those two characters from the beginning of that episode to the end of that episode was about character development and about those two, without saying that they're buddies, about those two going from having they say it, we both had a mutual friend.
Yeah.
But now
we're just guys.
They have become friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Without, again, chopping your head off with that shield. They have
Come on, they were using it as a frisbee.
They have told that without beating you over the head with it, which is masterful storytelling. Does anyone have any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
No, I'm just ready for this last episode.
And yet Sean always gets on to me because I will not watch. If I like something, I won't watch it.
Yeah.
I'm very weird about that. Like, if I know I'm going to really like a movie, I won't watch it because you can only watch it once. But I also know that if I don't watch it immediately, that number one, we won't be able to do this again next week, and I hope you two are available to do it on the final episode.
Oh, I'm in.
I'm in.
But it will be bittersweet for me to see this series go. I mean, we got 6 episodes on this. They're calling it a mini series. They're not promising us anymore. I'm anxious to see the final episode, but I'm also a little reluctant to watch it for the first time because that's going to be it. It will be over.
You don't want the magic to end.
I do not.
Exactly.
I do not. It would be better if Marvel next week, like on Thursday, said, "Hey, by the way, we're going to do it again. We're going to do another season." So
that's what I'm hoping for.
So Dirk can watch the episode and not be all sad about it.
I must be a strange lot because a lot of times I come away, I'll watch it a second time, and I'll have the same feeling I had.
I can too.
The first time. So
I can too.
Because actually, it becomes a nostalgia thing. Remember the first time?
You brought up something when Sam was talking to Isaiah. I got a little misty-eyed.
Yes,
I did
on
too.
That conversation.
I did too.
I mean, it's a dumb superhero show. It really hit me emotionally.
It's that human factor.
He was saying and what it meant, not just for the show, but for, the reality that we're living in here.
Yeah.
It really struck me. It was very powerful. It's a little silly superhero show, folks.
Look, I'm getting a little misty-eyed right now. Look at that.
It was
thinking
really,
about that.
It was really, if you allow yourself, if you relax and watch this thing and allow yourself to have some empathy for these characters in this situation, you can definitely, it's some pretty powerful storytelling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The mention of the Tuskegee Airmen, the 332, and being inspired by that, only to find out that they came home and were treated like crap and
being
everything
experimented on without telling them that really happened, folks. That's not in the MCU. That's in
that's real life
universe.
That's real life.
That really happened. The military definitely, the government definitely experimented on our soldiers and didn't tell them. They told them, "Oh, we're going to give you a tuberculosis shot," and they were,
it goes back to the what is it? I think it was they did it for 30 years. Because he mentioned 30 years.
30 years.
So the Tuskegee experiments where there were a lot of black men that had been infected with syphilis. And they told them that they were treating them for syphilis when the whole time all they were doing was watching the effects of syphilis on these people for 30 years.
Yeah.
So they weren't getting any kind of treatment whatsoever. I mean, that's the only flip to the story is that they weren't given any kind of medication or
given a super soldier.
They weren't giving them any kind of medication whatsoever. They were basically just taking, hey, let's take some blood and see how the disease is affected them. So
it rolls in quite nicely with reality.
With reality. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to wrap it up, folks. We've probably gone long enough. I appreciate everyone watching. We've actually been gaining viewers during the course of this, which is nice. I appreciate it. So we're going to do it, I guess, next week again, right?
Let's do this again.
Same time, same station.
Same
bat station, same bat channel.
Hey, same sandbox.
Yeah, there you go. So
let us come and dig.
If you liked this conversation, then join us next week at the same time. And until next time, for Beth and for Walt, this is Dirk Hooper saying, dream hard.